Okay, everybody, let's get started. Good afternoon. I'm Scott Friedman. I'm the Dean for Therapeutic Discovery, and I'm delighted to host the Mount Sinai Innovation Virtual Awards ceremony. Like everything this year, this is a Zoom event, but one that is intended to recognize as much or more than ever the extraordinary innovation and creativity that's come forth from all people on our health system, faculty, fellows, residents, students, in a variety of ways. This ceremony initially was started in 2015 to accompany the Sinai Innovations event, but even though the event this year was postponed until next fall, we felt it was too important to continue to acknowledge the outstanding innovation and creativity of all the people we're honoring today and many more like them. And in particular, it seems that in the setting of COVID, it was more imperative than ever that we heighten our attention not only to great patient care, but also to innovation and creativity to solve some of the most daunting challenges, certainly of my career and most of our lives. And so we'll be recognizing many people who've worked very hard. I want to acknowledge Jacqueline Laws, Rama Yangar, Najib Abdallah, Grace Lee, who helped behind the scenes to create this ceremony. So without any delay, I'd like to introduce the driving force really behind the innovation culture that really epitomizes and makes Mount Sinai so unique. I took on this role as Dean for Therapeutic Discovery in 2012, in part because I felt that Dean Charney's vision was so compelling that it was something I wanted to be a part of. And he continues to drive an innovation agenda that grows and expands and yields many fruits and many rewards, not just this award ceremony, but many new technologies you'll be hearing about today. So with that, let me introduce our Dean, Dennis Charney, the Aaron Krantz Professor, who will then make some comments and introduce Eric Liam of Mount Sinai Innovation Partners.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, it's too bad we can't be together. This has been an unbelievable year. And as we have talked about in many different settings, that the courage, bravery, dedication, passion, that all at Mount Sinai, from the doctors, the nurses, the respiratory therapists, our environmental workers, have just done amazing things this year. And we've hired a writer to document what has happened during this year, and will be continuing, and so that we don't forget what we have done, and so that generations to come can learn from our experience. The research that has gone on this year has been spectacular, and what was amazing when you go through the sequence of what happened during the year, when we first got hit with the pandemic back in March, it became a tsunami. And as we were dealing with all these patients coming into our hospitals, which peaked at over 2,000 patients in our health system at one point, we didn't know that really how to treat this condition very well. And so we marshaled our scientists, many of whom are being honored today, to help us understand this disease, develop better ways of diagnosing and understanding the severity of the disease and the extent of the disease, and to come up with new treatments, literally while we were having to treat the patients. It was amazing. And our scientists coming to work every day during this period of time and subsequently also demonstrated courage and bravery during this time. And they were interacting, the scientists were interacting with our clinicians in a way that I think was unprecedented. So it made me proud to be your dean. It means that, all the work we have done together over the years to make Mount Sinai a innovation culture, an entrepreneurship culture, a culture of science that is bold, came to be fruitful at this time in history. So this year, I think more than others, we have a lot to be thankful for in terms of our science, our innovation. And I want to congratulate you for what you have done already and what I know you're going to continue to do, because the challenges are still there for us to overcome. So congratulations to the awardees. And now I want to hand things over to Eric Liam, who himself and his team have also done spectacular work in working to make our science, your science, available beyond the bounds of Mount Sinai to around the country and even around the world to change the lives of so many patients. Eric?
Thank you, Dennis. So I'd like to present the Mount Sinai Inventor of the Year Award. The Mount Sinai Inventor of the Year Award has been created to recognize individuals or collaborative teams in the Mount Sinai Health System whose research is making or has the potential to make significant positive and productive product-driven impacts on health. This year, I'm pleased to honor 8 dedicated individuals for their exemplary efforts, leading to the development of multiple diagnostic tests for the detection of antibodies against the COVID-19 spike protein, the principal target of neutralizing antibodies. Various versions of these tests receive regulatory approval from the New York State Department of Health and the US Food and Drug Administration. These tests served as the blueprint for development and broad regulatory approval of the Kantaro Biosciences test kit for the same purpose. Kantaro is a Mount Sinai venture launched in May of 2020 that has scaled manufacturing and distribution of these tests for global use. The recipients' efforts spanned research and clinical innovation in the fight against COVID-19. These tests in various forms were utilized for identifying individuals with an immune response, high titer donors for Mount Sinai's convalescent plasma program, and hyperimmune globulin program, and will ultimately inform the development of a correlate of immunity. To this end, I'd like to recognize the following individuals for their outstanding contributions and collaborative spirit. Dr. Florian Kramer, Dr. Carlos Cordon-Cardo, Dr. Viviana Simon, Dr. Anya Weinberg, Dr. Rao Mendu, Dr. Adolfo Firpo, Dr. Daniel Stadelbauer, and Fatima Aminat. I'd like to invite Dr. Florian Kramer and Carlos Cordon-Cardo to make some comments, and any of their team members as well. We're continuously inspired to work with such dedicated colleagues who met the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic fully and with immense motivation to ultimately help patients on a global scale. On behalf of Mount Sinai Innovation Partners and the Mount Sinai Health System, we congratulate them on their important accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. I hope you can hear me. I would like to thank Mount Sinai Innovation Partners, the school, and the health system for this award. We are really honored to receive this award, but I wanted to say a few words. What you see here is a team of 8 people. A year ago, there was no team of 8 people. We had science, and there was competence here. And then there was a need when the pandemic came. There was a need to step up and develop technology to help patients. And for this, we came together, the microbiology department, the pathology department, and the hospital. And we formed a team, and we kind of stepped up to that challenge. And that's what I wanted to highlight. And I also wanted to thank all the individuals who contributed but are not in this room with us today. I also wanted to thank our leadership. I wanted to thank the school, the hospital, and MSIP for really providing the resources that we needed to develop this and to move this forward. And I also wanted to thank you, Eric, for the help that you provided basically since the beginning of this pandemic. And with that, I hand it over to Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you, Florian. And as Florian said, we represent the efforts of many in the laboratory, both basic and clinical, as well as in the hospital. We're representing a community that we were able to be supported by great leadership, produce a team that became a team of colleagues and a team of friends, which is what this pandemic has allowed us to do. Sometimes in history, we are given the opportunity to come together. In New York, we had several difficult moments in which the community came together, and this has been one of them. We were very also fortunate to have terrific individuals in the institution, in the team, that produce research-based studies that were prepared to be transferred into the clinical labs to serve the community in a way that we all worked very hard to make it happen. And thanks again, as Florian says, to you, Eric. You have been terrific. You should be in this team here. Thanks to the leadership of the institution, with Dean Charlie, Scott, and the hospital and the board that has helped us in making sure that we had the right resources to move forward, to get not only the emergency use authorization from different agents, both nationally and internationally, but also to be able to complete as a team, to be part of the serology network of the National Cancer Institute and National Institutes of Health, that we are very proudly representing our institution. Thank you.
So I will jump in here and also express my congratulations. We are so proud of all of you and proud to be part of an institution that supported your work. It's clearly making a huge difference. I also want to thank Eric explicitly. There were many, many days, nights, weekends that he was working hard to launch Kentaro along with his team, Cynthia Clayto and others, to make this a reality in time to really benefit patient care. And that's just absolutely astounding. And it speaks to the fundamental values of the institution, but also to all of your extreme dedication, intelligence, and above all, the teamwork that you displayed in pulling this together. I also want to just acknowledge Eric's formal titles. For those who don't know him, he's the president of Mount Sinai Innovation Partners and the chief commercial innovation officer for the Mount Sinai Health System. So now we'll move on to our next prize, which is the Faculty Idea Prize, to be presented by Lauren Pecorello, who is the Senior Associate Dean for Faculty Wellbeing and Development. This is a prize whose initial idea was germinated by Lakshmi Devi, who previously led the programs in faculty development that have now been subsumed under the office led by Lauren and Jonathan Ripp. And they too have, in their sphere, had an enormous impact on the well-being, really, of the whole campus and the institution through their work in well-being resilience. And so I want to give them a shout out as well, and also to point you to their paper describing a lot of their efforts in the midst of the pandemic. Both Jonathan and Lauren, as well as Dean Charney, authored a very important paper in academic medicine this past summer that I encourage you all to look at. So, Lauren, I'll leave it for you to describe the Faculty Idea Award, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you so much, Scott. And as you mentioned, this Faculty Idea Prize was heralded and created by Lakshmi Devi, and it's really an outstanding opportunity for junior faculty across different departments to come together to create a new work. And it's a $10,000 prize. It's sponsored formerly by the Office of Academic Enrichment and Development, and now by the Office of Faculty Development. And that can potentially be translated into a marketable product. And the results of the collaborative project idea should go beyond what is possible through individual PI-driven research. and should enable the launching of a multidisciplinary project that can create value through the development of therapeutics, devices, diagnoses, or digital health applications. This year, we had a competitive application process with 14 outstanding proposals. Okay. Maria Luizos, a PhD in the Department of Psychiatry. Melissa Mazer, an instructor in the Department of Medicine. And Christopher Woodrell, an assistant professor in geriatrics and palliative medicine. So it's really, this is great because it's a project with spanning 3 departments. And their submission is called Smart PC, an accessible palliative care health tool for patients with serious illness. And just as a brief background, we know that palliative care for patients with serious illnesses focuses on the assessment of symptom and communication needs and relieves suffering. And we particularly know that that's happening during COVID. But there's major barriers to equitable palliative care access. And so this team will develop and test the usability of Smart PC, a patient and family caregiver-friendly health app to assess disease-based symptoms, functional needs, and provide links to evidence-based resources and facilitate communication of palliative care needs with clinical providers. So at this time, I think we'll allow those awardees who are in the room to say a brief statement about their prize.
Great. So thank you so much, Dr. Pecorello, for just the opportunity to accept this prize, and just for and also just the greater Sinai community, and to the faculty development committee. As a junior faculty, this is a really fantastic opportunity, I think, for 2 reasons. To have a prize that will inspire collaboration across other departments and divisions and disciplines is really helpful in thinking of new innovative ideas that can support our work as a team, and then really also support the patients that we serve. And so it was just an incredible opportunity to be able to apply for this. I want to thank my colleagues, Claire and Maria and Chris, and I know that they're on this call, and it's an absolute pleasure working with you thus far, and we're looking forward to developing this idea that will ultimately mitigate disparities in palliative care for the patients that we serve. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Did any of the other awardees on your team want to speak?
I believe it's set up where
You're going to
they're
speak
able to, but I know that they are also have a lot of gratitude for this, so thank you.
Wonderful. Well, that was totally understandable. So let me just also say, having reviewed these applications, there were phenomenal ideas, and these are basically de novo ideas for collaborations that didn't exist before. And although in past years, they've mostly been recognizing new technologies, I have to say that the committee was really impressed with both the creativity of your team and also the fact that you were able to marshal, 3 different disciplines, 3 different departments to come up with something that seems so tangible and elegant that it could immediately impact on patient care. And so congratulations, it's a really well-deserved honor. With that, we're going to move on to the 4D Awards. This is an award that was initially created back in 2014. For those who want to know, 4D actually stands for Discover, Design, Develop, and Deliver. And it's an award that's really intended on supporting faculty and postdoc technology development to effectively and efficiently move new technologies through a process of discovery, design, development, and delivery. There are 4 technologies that are recognized. I'll introduce them shortly. I also want to credit the CTSA award and the KL2 program led by Janice Gabrilov for supporting these awards. They've been tremendously successful, and I have little doubt that this year's awardees will carry on that tradition of success that could well translate into commercial success as well. So the first technology being recognized, you see listed here, the team is comprised of Turner Baker, Anthony Costa, Hazem Shoira, Christopher Kellner, and their project is entitled The Chill Device, Cerebral Hypothermal Induced via Fluidics Loop. So I understand, Turner, you're going to speak on behalf of your team?
Yes, are you guys able to hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. It's so nice to be here. It was an honor to be given the 40 Technology Award this last year. Our team developed a new surgical device that's designed to help patients suffering from intracerebral hemorrhage recovery following ICH evacuation. ICH still remains one of the most deadliest form of stroke in the US and worldwide. And so developing technologies such as the Chill device are greatly needed. The 40 Technology Award has been a great help for us. Since receiving it, we've submitted a provisional patent and a PCT and have developed the prototype far enough forward for us to actually have begun animal trials this last year. And so it's really been great, especially as a young inventor and a researcher, the culture of innovation and collaboration that's been cultivated here at Sinai with MSIP and the CTSA has really been an inspiration. Much of our group is a part of the Sinai Biodesign, which is an innovation hub located within the neurosurgery department, though I think you'll hear from another one of our colleagues who works on something outside of neurosurgery. But it's really been an amazing group led by Anthony Costa, who's listed on my team, and also by Dr. Joshua Betterson, who is the chair of the department and has allowed for us to do all this great work. I'd like to give some special thank yous to Dr. Christopher Kellner, who is on the team, as well as Dr. Hazem Shoira, who are kind of our two key opinion leaders and surgeons who've helped us with every step of the way. And a big thank you to the entire Sinai Biodesign team, all the input from everybody in the neurosurgery department, members of the CTSA and MSIP, especially Phil Williams, who's been a great help to Biodesign. And a big thank you as well to Dolly, who was our sheep and was the first patient to be given the Chill device. So thank you all.
Congratulations again, Turner, and your teammates. Fantastic technology, and best of luck pushing forward.
Thank you.
The next team has a project entitled Mitral Print, Assessment of Mitral Valve Closure Forces, and the team is comprised of Daniel Greenberg, Anthony Costa again, Alexis Bruhat, David Adams, and Pierre-Jean Cotinet. Accepting the award for the team is Alexis Bruhat.
Yeah, perfect. You heard me? Yeah. So, the first thing that we want to say, just thank you. And as you can imagine, in early stage medtech development technology, we can struggle with a recurring issue that is early stage prototype using a cutting edge technology can be pretty expensive. And it was the case in this situation. We are developing a new type of guide wire that can record the force of coaptation of the mitral valve, allowing the surgeon to know if the patient will have a good outcome in long term. So we use this grant to make our first prototype. And a few weeks ago, we carried out our first proof of concept in vivo. We got amazing results, so now we feel pretty confident of the success of this project and the positive impact that this device will have in this field. Sinai Biodesign is glad also to be part of the project that, including multiple people from different departments, it just proved that these people have a complementary skills, leading great innovation. And so, yeah, we are glad to be part of Mount Sinai Hospital. I'm speaking on behalf of all the team, but every name listed in this award had a significant impact in this project. So if you remove one of these name, would be not where we are right now, and also without the help of MSIP. So where we are right now, we are able, thanks to this amazing proof of concept result from our proof of concept in vivo, we are able to apply to big NIH grant for big animal trials. And at the same time, we're already in connection with multiple industrial partners that will be able to make this device in an industrial way. So thank you again for the support of MSIP, and yes, thank you.
Thank you, Alexei, and congratulations to your entire team. By the way, the images you see are actually depictions of the actual prize. There is a physical prize that each of the awardees will receive in the coming days. The third of the four 4D projects is entitled Virtual Reality Vision Screening and Analysis Platform. And the recognized investigators include Randall Serafini, Margarita Ladkovich, James Chelness, Andrew Warburton, Ali Valiani, and Ajay Patel. And Ajay Patel will be accepting the award on behalf of his team. Ajay?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Friedman. It really is an honor to be accepting this 4D Technology Development Award. So Dr. Friedman mentioned it's a virtual reality-based vision screening platform that we've been building via a team of 5 medical students here at the school, along with other PIs throughout the departments of ophthalmology at the New York Eye and Ear. And that team has actually, turned this technology into a commercial venture that we now call Retina Technology. So just in brief, we're developing a portable vision screening platform that can broadly assess vision capabilities and retinal abnormalities. And when we couple this with machine learning and data retrieved from these technologies, it allows for automatic refer, no refer recommendations on a number of eye pathologies, which then enable non-vision specialists to actually quantitatively screen patients and make the right decisions for their patients. So, from its inception to where we've come, I think really it's touched so many different parts of the health system, from the community outreach that the med students do that actually originated the idea and the need for increased access to vision screening, to actually then working with MSIP to figure out how to actually turn this technology into a commercial entity, then to working with physicians at New York Eye and Ear. We're actually just wrapping up our first clinical trial that looks at a part of our platform with great results, and we're starting a much larger full-scale trial for our platform as well. And really just, the spirit of the award of discovery, design, development, and delivery, I think we've been able to experience throughout this journey. And it's been possible because of the contribution of the 4D award at a very critical time in our development. So just really thankful for everyone that's gotten us here. Especially want to shout out to Dove, Chris, and Eric at MSIP, and all Dr. Chelness, who's been a great PI for us as well, and all the aspects of the health system that have pushed us this far.
That's great. Thank you, and congratulations again to you and your team. It's really a testimony to all the strengths around the health system that really allowed this to flourish. So that's a great description. Thank you. The final 4D award is entitled Deep Learning Based Early Warning Score for Cardiac Arrest in ICU. It recognizes Samuel K. Cho, Varun Arvind, Jun S. Kim, John Schwartz, Daniel Ranti, and Ali Valiani. And accepting on behalf of the team will be Varun Arvind. Varun?
Thanks, Dr. Friedman. I'm very grateful to receive this award and very thankful for MSIP and Mount Sinai for providing us this money with the funds. We were able to purchase equipment that was allowed us to move our project forward. Essentially, the idea is to use clinical data within the hospital to predict in-hospital cardiac arrest to improve outcomes and resource allocations for patients. As we were getting this project started, COVID happened and I put a damper on it, but what we're able to do with this project and show the robustness of it really is to use the same pipeline and to prognosticate intubation status and assist with COVID studies. And what we're looking to do going forward is to take the same pipeline and build upon it more and really acquire further grant funding to pursue like a prospective trial. I'd like to thank all the members on this team in addition to MSIP. Also a special shout out to Luis Lammers, who was very helpful in getting us the funds and allowing us to buy equipment. Thank you.
Great. Congratulations again to all of you. Yet another really fantastic technology, and amazing how you ended up leveraging what was a tragic situation around the COVID pandemic. So now we move on to another award. This is the Killen Postdoctoral Entrepreneurship Award. Killen stands for Keystone for Incubating Innovation in Life Sciences Network. It was created by a group of exceptional postdoctoral fellows themselves who went on to the commercial world largely and wanted to give something back, and have provided the funds to support this award. Presenting on behalf of she and her teammates is Merina Varghese. Merina was a postdoc here at Mount Sinai, and she'll tell you more about the award and the awardee, Felipe Pereira. Merina?
Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much for that introduction. The Postdoctoral Entrepreneurship Award is named after Killen, as Scott indicated. Killen is a nonprofit accelerator for life science startups. And it was founded by former Sinai postdoctoral fellows, Doctors Nicole McKnight, Ilse Dane, Jana Zorina, Gabriela Castellana, who are among the audience today. The award aims to spotlight Sinai postdoctoral fellows who lead startups that address unmet needs in the life sciences. Despite the challenging times this year, we received a good mix of applications from digital health as well as therapeutic startups targeting oncology, neurology, and psychiatry. I'm happy to note that current and former postdoctoral fellows, both women and men, were equally represented among the applicants. On behalf of the Killen team, I'm pleased to announce the winner of the 2020 Killen Award, Asgard Therapeutics, co-founded by Dr. Felipe Pereira. Dr. Pereira was a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Developmental and Regenerative Biology here at Sinai from 2010 to 2015. He now heads his own laboratory at Lund University in Sweden, and as Chief Scientific Officer of Asgard Therapeutics, he is developing reprogrammed cells for cancer immunotherapy. Congratulations, Philip, and over to you.
Thank you, Merina, and thank you so much for all the Killen teams for establishing this award. So I'm very honored to receive this award, particularly for my institution that Sinai, that has means so much for my career. So as you mentioned, I was a postdoc at Sinai between 2010 and 2015 with here Lemiska and Kateri Moore, where I identified transcription factors to induce hematopoietic stem cell-like cells. But it was a really fantastic time when my training at Sinai. I also got inspired with with all the environment. It was particularly the efforts in the immunology. So in 2015, I went back to Portugal. So I'm Portuguese, established my own lab with this vision of bringing these reprogramming paradigms to the immunology field. So when I got interested in the dendritic cells, and my team has identified 3 transcription factors that convert fibroblasts or other cell types into dendritic cells that are competent for antigen presentation. So, and this has really opened a lot of possibilities to apply cell reprogramming for cancer immunotherapy that led to the incorporation of Asgard Therapeutics in 2018 after we moved to Sweden. So Asgard Therapeutics is developing extrusion DC. So it's a cancer gene therapy based on cell reprogramming. And what it does is that it delivers these 3 reprogramming factors that turn tumor cells into an antigen-presenting dendritic cell that elicit an immune response against the heterogeneous nature of the cancer. So yeah, with this, I just want to thank Killen again and Mount Sinai for the award. And I hope to visit you in New York soon. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations again to Philip. And thanks for staying up late. I assume you're in Europe, in Sweden, so we appreciate that as well. We now turn to the Trainee Innovation Idea Awards. I'll be presenting the first, followed by 3 others. The first award recognizes either an MD or an MD PhD student and or their team for innovative technologies that represent leading edge opportunities for improving patient care or basic or translational science. And it gives me great pleasure to recognize the team of Suleiman Somani, Edgar Argulian, Jagat Narula, Girish Nardkandi, and Benjamin Glitzberg for their technology entitled DPE, using deep learning to efficiently diagnose, manage pulmonary embolism. I have to, on a personal note, tell you, I'm excited about this technology since I actually had a pulmonary embolism myself over 20 years ago. And it's good to think that you're making progress in this potentially life-threatening illness. And I'm glad I lived long enough to enjoy and see this award. So Suleiman and team, congratulations. And perhaps you want to say a word or two.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Friedman. In the fall of my third year of medical school, I actually had the privilege of caring for a patient with a really complex clinical picture in whom we suspected pulmonary embolisms. The complexity of her illness, though, and really the large gap that exists in diagnostic specificity between the different testing modalities for a PE made it tougher to clinch that diagnosis or to even rule it out than we initially reckoned it to be. When I started working with my mentors here, I took on that problem and really hypothesized that we could narrow this diagnostic gap by extracting insights from electrocardiograms, something that was a data source that we had lying around on every patient, and using artificial intelligence for that data or for that insight extraction. Our initial results so far have been able to demonstrate an ability to identify more specifically patients who have a low risk of pulmonary embolism, and especially for resource constraining situations, as we saw in the peak of COVID-19 in March through May, allocating those resources more intelligently to those who need it the most. From this work, we've also created the foundation for a series of other projects and potentially clinical trials in order to validate this technology and carry it forward. Certainly, it's no easy task to take an idea from clinic to silico, but our team, which is composed of Dr. Glitzberg, Dr. Nadkarni, Dr. Argulian, Dr. Narula, were able to give me the mentorship to unify multiple data modalities, experts from different domains, and a lot of computational resources to develop this prototype. This is not only really a testament to these individuals and how amazing they are, but also to the Mount Sinai Health System, which continues from my first day as a first-year med student to this day and receiving this award, a culture of innovation, collaboration, curiosity that allow us to solve the toughest of clinical problems. Thank you again.
Beautiful words. Thank you, Suleiman, and congratulations. And we look forward to seeing your technology change people's lives for the better. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Matthew O'Connell, who is the Senior Associate Dean for Curriculum Recruitment and Admissions. And Matthew will introduce the PhD student winners of the Trainee Innovation Idea Award. Matthew?
Thank you, Scott. It's really a great honor to be able to introduce Megan Swartz and Dennis Torre, two of our most talented PhD students at Mount Sinai, for the award today. I also want to give a big shout out to all those graduate students who devoted hundreds upon hundreds of hours of research into COVID-19 biology since the pandemic broke out. Megan and Dennis have come together in a collaborative way to develop an assay that can be performed on whole blood and measure T-cell responses to SARS-CoV-2 infection. It is a rapid and a sensitive assay, and in developing this, they've really solved the problem of existing assays, which was held back by a significant amount of false positive results. The team brought together their knowledge of virology, immunology, and genetics, and to develop an assay, to validate it, and to come up with something that meets an unmet need in the community, in the marketplace. So my congratulations to Megan and Dennis for clearly thinking outside the box and making us proud in the graduate school. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And we would like to thank the organizers of the award and all the collaborators that actually helped us achieve this goal, including Ernesto Guccione, our supervisor and principal investigator, and our collaborators both at Sinai and abroad, more specifically collaborators at Duke School of Medicine in Singapore, including Ernesto Bertoletti and Nina Labert, as well as Jordi Ochando here at Sinai, as well as MSIP, who has been helping us translate this into a patent that can be then commercialized and made available throughout, hopefully, Sinai and more broadly in other hospitals around the world.
Thank you. Congratulations to both of you. Well deserved. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Michael Leitman, who's the Senior Dean for Graduate Medical Education, also to acknowledge the contributions in reviewing these awards to Guy Montgomery, who is the Associate Dean for Postdoctoral Affairs. Mike is a pleasure to work with, and it's a privilege to have him leading our GME activities, which represent the largest group of residents and fellows under one institution anywhere in the United States. So he has an enormous responsibility, which he carries out with enormous grace and wisdom. So Mike, don't mean to embarrass you, but if you could introduce the two remaining categories of trainee awards.
Thank you, Dr. Friedman, and good evening, everybody. It's really a pleasure for me to have the opportunity on behalf of Mount Sinai and for Dr. Guy Montgomery to provide the Trainee Innovation Award postdoc award winner, Dr. Merina Varghese and her coworkers on uncovering the role of microbiome in hepatocellular carcinoma, tumorigenesis, and immunotherapy. This is a very important project in a disease that unfortunately takes 700,000 people per year around the world. And so this was one of several projects that we had to review, and this one really stuck out as an outstanding research award. So Dr. Varghese, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Leitman. Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the Mount Sinai committee for selecting this idea from my team for the Postdoctoral Innovation Award. I feel very grateful for this recognition, and I also want to take the opportunity to thank all my laboratory team, especially to my mentor, Amaya Lujambio, for being so supportive. I want to highlight that I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to carry out this project here at Mount Sinai. I'm very thankful to the collaboration, to all the collaborators from other laboratories that makes this project possible. And finally, I'm also very grateful that my family is able to attend this ceremony. And thank you very much to everyone.
Congratulations. And then finally, it's my honor to present the House Staff Award to Dr. Michael Dollinger, as well as his co-workers, Dr. Elizabeth Spencer and Dr. Marla Dubinsky from the Department of Pediatrics, Division of Gastroenterology for this award. It's really so nice to see residents that are pursuing research, original research, those that are really focused on a career as physician scientists. This is just one example of a lot of proposals that we had to review, and this one really seemed to provide an instant opportunity to help change the lives of tens of thousands of children in the United States that have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, chronic inflammatory diseases of the intestine that cripple them and decrease the quality of life. Their title, Bringing Technology to the Bedside to Rapidly Diagnose and Treat Inflammatory Bowel Disease, the IBD Intestinal Ultrasound Program, is the award-winning submission for this award. So congratulations, Dr. Dollinger. If you're here.
Is someone from the Dollinger team available?
Perhaps they're at the bedside doing ultrasound.
Yeah, I was going to make the same comment.
I'm sorry.
No, great minds think alike. Congratulations to them nonetheless. It's an exciting project. And let me just say in closing that we have a lot to be proud of, working at a great institution with great leadership and extraordinary talent and commitment across the board, from patient care, basic translational work. And we really rose to the challenge as an institution in the midst of COVID, which of course we're still confronting. I also want to acknowledge the event hosts that you see listed here: Mount Sinai Innovation Partners, Office of Faculty Development, the Graduate School, Department of Med Ed, Postdoctoral Affairs, the GME office, and of course Killen as well, who I described a little bit earlier. This really reflects an extraordinary wellspring of talent and creativity. Of course, I'm sorry that we can't shake your hand and congratulate you in person, but hopefully that opportunity will come in the ensuing months. And we look forward to another spectacular crop of innovative activities and talented people over the next year that we hopefully can recognize a year from now. Until then, happy holidays, stay safe. Thank you all for all you do, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Congratulations.